Good day, everyone. This is Pilot Needles, and you're listening to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. Please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody, how's it going?
Hello, everything is okay here. How are things over in Barovia?
Same crap, different day. We'll put it that way.
Uh-huh. Oh, well.
What are you gonna do?
I guess you're just going to have to live with that. That's what happens when you get a curse on
Yeah,
you.
that's right. Stupid curses.
Yes. Let's head into the game news and see if there are any curses there. We'll begin with the Mac OS Catalina compatibility. And since I know nothing about Macs, what does this mean?
It means if you are running a Mac and you want to upgrade to the newest Catalina release when it comes out, you're not going to be able to play DDO. So
What?
don't update your Mac OS. Yeah, Apple did announce that they are no longer going to support 32-bit applications, which DDO is a 32-bit application, so that means it is not going to run. So if you upgrade your Mac OS to the new Catalina in the near future when it comes out, I think it's scheduled to come out middle of next month, I think is when it's coming out. DDO will not run anymore because that is going to impact the compatibility of the new Wine-based client that was out. It's not going to work. So do not upgrade if you want to keep playing DDO on your Mac. Just side note, this will affect Lotro as well. So if you play Lotro, it will affect Lotro just the same because of the 32-bit thing. I don't think they did the 64-bit client for Lotro on the Mac side.
Oh, okay. They've only done it on the
On the
PC
Windows,
side,
yes, correct,
on the
yeah.
Windows side. All right, because I was wondering about that, but
Yep.
it's
So
possible they haven't done that yet.
it's going to affect if Wine maybe updates somehow. They said they might be able to get it to work. They'll look at that. But just for the future, Standing Stone suggests do not upgrade your Mac OS.
Oh, you mean wine itself isn't designed to?
Right, because Wine is a 32-bit application.
Oh boy.
So, rumor has it that Wine is probably going to update itself on Mac to work 64-bit, but I'm not sure how well the 64-bit Wine client will run a 32-bit application under Mac OS, which is not going to support anything at 32-bit. So it sounds like it's going to be a nightmare. So I would just suggest don't upgrade your Mac OS if you want to play DDO. If you're not playing DDO, go ahead and update your Mac OS and have fun with the new Catalina. But if you're playing DDO, I would suggest not doing it. Then
Oh
again,
joy.
I kind of said this last week. How many people actually play DDO on a Mac? I would love to know some numbers. I
Enough to
can't
create a wine client.
I guess I can't imagine there's a lot of people that game on Macs. I really can't. I could be wrong. It's just Mac OS is not a gaming OS really. It's more, but okay, all right. I'm sure there's some of you out there, as you said, they created a wine client for them. So, okay, okay. Anyway, sorry about that. Pro tip: don't upgrade, and you'll still be able to play DDO.
All right. Then let's head into what I hope to some people is better news, and that is Night Revels is tentatively starting on October 10th and heading into November the 3rd.
Yay, Night Rebels! I cannot wait for some night reveling. I plan to revel a lot. If you're not familiar with what Night Rebels is, if you maybe are new to the game, Night Rebels is the Halloween event. What happens is there are dungeons that are turned into Night Rebel dungeons. They are challenge type. If you're familiar with the challenges in DDO, these Night Rebel dungeons run on the same way. You go in, you run, you have to get stars. The more stars you get, the more ingredients you're going to get to trade your ingredients in for whatever goodies. There is always a new dungeon that they bring out every year. Cordovan did say on his weekly Wednesday live stream last week, they do have a new dungeon. Didn't say what it was. They're keeping that as a surprise. So
Right.
we
Fright Plume Mountain, right?
maybe, who knows? They have plenty to choose from.
Yeah.
And then he did say there are going to be some new items. Then again, he didn't say what they were. But he did say the Reaper armor this year will be in purple now. Because last year a lot of people wanted purple, so you can't get purple Reaper armor from Night Rebels if you so are inclined. But new dungeon coming that has been Night Rebel-fied. We don't know what it is. And some new items. We don't know what it is. But tentatively, he did post October 2nd is when he posted this over on the forums, as you said. We are currently targeting a planned release date for next week to fix a few bugs and to turn on the new Night Rebels in the live game with the intention of Night Rebels starting Thursday, October 10th. And to keep it open through Sunday, November the 3rd. Obviously, we'll have some final timing next week, which would be this week.
All right. Yes. So when you said next week, you meant he said that last week.
Yes, he said that. Yes, we have to jump in our time machine and say he said that last week, but he meant this week because it is now this week because we have jumped forward in time. Everything is getting timey-wimey again.
Yeah.
This happens to us all the time. It's all timey-wimey.
All timey-wimey.
But unless things change, Thursday, October the 10th, which will be this Thursday when you're listening to this, be it the podcast that released the day before that, or if you're listening to this live, which currently 0 people are, so I never said that. But Night Rebels should start October the 10th and run through November the 3rd. It will not be on the hardcore servers because events do not run on hardcore servers. So if you want to do some Night Reveling, you're going to have to go on the live servers. No Night Rebels on hardcore.
And besides, I would think that doing something like this on the hardcore server it sounds like to me the risks are going to be a lot higher than the rewards.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And, because anyway, the hardcore server is going to close anyway, so why would you? Though you can transfer, you can transfer your character off and keep all the stuff that you have, but still, just do it on a live server. Because, well, you're going to have to because it's not even going to be an option for you to do it on hardcore. But I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it.
Right, then let's head into the DDO Chronicle issue 353 and...
No clue where that's from. I'm assuming one of the new quests, but no clue.
Well, this doesn't look very Sharnish, though.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's nothing I've ever seen before, so that's why I assumed it was from a new quest. But it's kind of a cool shot, though. I mean, I kind of like it. But it's kind of weird that there's a Minotaur standing there. That's what's...
Oh. A Minotaur.
Yeah, the one on the left would be a Minotaur, I do believe.
Yeah, it does look like a Minotaur. Yeah. And the only place where I could think of where you might have a Minotaur that's coastal was at Three Barrel Cove. But
right, like that's definitely... See, that's what I thought too, but that's definitely not a Three Barrel Cove shot, so... I don't know. If you know where this is, put it in the comments, but... cool little Chronicle cover nonetheless. In our Chronicle this week, Axel and his DDO channel over on YouTube turned 5. We turned 5 and Axel turned 5. So I didn't realize that Axel and us started about the same time. So congratulations to Axel for 5 years of video. Click over and check out all of the videos Axel has done over on his YouTube channel. And here is to 5 more years to you, sir.
So today would be the 5-year anniversary show if you go by... We started the first show, or?
Yes. Okay. Well, I got to look at the date again, but sure, let's just say this is the 5-year anniversary of the podcast.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was around this time. I would have to look up the exact date, but sure. So we are now officially 5. We have caught up with the website now. So
okay.
We're officially old. We're 5 finally. kind of oldish. I don't know. Over in the Fans I Do section of our Chronicle, DDO cast had episode number 574, free to play 10th anniversary. This was with Cordovan. Patrick and Cordovan just kind of talked about the 10-year anniversary of DDO going free to play. So a lot of anniversary things happening around DDO right now in some of the fan sites. We have Mickey's Delirium rating in week number 142. Baklagor has his Fridays on Ice. He has episode 136. Doug Glendower, of course, bringing you the Bard Life. Sharn and the Damsels of DDO. That's right, the Damsels took on some of the new Sharn quest. Click over to watch that. Don't forget about D&D Night on DDO stream, and that was the Stormreach Chronicles Volume 1, Chapter 1. That is a brand new show that's happening on D&D Night on DDO stream. Patrick is a dungeon master for that. It's going to have a rotating group of players. What he's doing is he is taking DDO quest and converting them to 5e quest and running them in D&D 5e on Fantasy Ground. So it's kind of cool. They did the Korthos is what the first night was. So it's kind of interesting what he's doing. It's got to be a lot of work to do that, though, on his part. But hence why it's going to be a new show. And it's going to be just kind of like one-offs. Like if there's an extra Sunday in the month, that show's going to run for that. So
Okay.
it's not going to be like a regular show, but it'll be, every now and again when we need some filler for D&D Night. Streaming with Even had 103rd episode, More Hard, More Core. And the DDOPL folks continuing their Warforged adventures. And, of course, a Psycho Blonde with her free DO. We do have a Chronicle comment, as we always do.
Yeah.
If you could only have one hireling for the rest of your time on DDO, who would you choose?
Only one hireling. I hope this hireling would level with us.
I would hope so, too.
Yes. Just trying to remember the names of these hirelings. And that's always the tricky one. I would say the elf cleric that's at level 3.
You talking about Ellerly?
Yeah, Ellerly.
Yes,
probably. As I said, assuming she levels with you.
Right, that's going to say it's a big considering that they level with you. But yeah, I would definitely say I would want one of the clerics, probably. Always nice to have a cleric with you. Though, I must admit, I think my favorite hireling of all time, I only use for a very short period of time, but he kills everything in his path, and that is Byron. Byron, the level 1 barbarian, is the ultimate hireling. I'm telling you, he just kills everything.
Well, considering what you face at level 1.
He gives like 0 F's about anything. He just runs up, kills the stuff, runs through traps, runs through fire, runs through lava. He doesn't care. He just goes and kills. So I would say if Byron could level with you, he would make an awesome teammate to always have with you.
I know. I just have this terror that he's going to go Leroy on me at the worst possible time.
Well, maybe that could possibly be, but interesting question none the week. But then again, it all stems on, are they going to level with you though? Because it would be silly to be level 30 and have to take a level 3 cleric with you.
Yeah.
But yeah. But on the contingency that they level with you, I'm going to say Byron.
It could be similar to how the skirmish soldiers work in Lotro.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you would get points and you could put points. Yeah, see? Ooh, I kind of like that idea. That would be awesome to have hirelings like that. that you could just kind of like quote unquote level up and train how you want to train them. And
Yeah.
ooh, I like that. That's a good idea. Standing stone. Write that down.
Yes, and if you want to have a good model of how it works, just look
Yeah,
at
that's
talk to
right.
the Lotro people.
Let's talk to the Lotro dev that did that and say, hey, this is how I did it. And there you go. See, half of your job is done for you already.
Oh, most likely though, that dev might no longer be there.
Well,
And
true. Very, very true.
yes, but yeah, the dev won't be there any longer, and the code probably looks like a big rat's nest. Which could explain why they have not had any upgrades to the skill set for skirmish soldiers since level 100. It could be that no one knows how to do it anymore.
Yeah. You might be onto something there. Maybe. It's one of those things that make you go, And we have our screenshot of the week to round out our Chronicle this week. This is from Woofy. He is armed and ready in the 434th DDO screenshot of the week. In a skull.
He's armed and ready.
I would hope so with that skull coming at him. I would hope you would be ready, sir.
Yikes.
Yikes indeed.
Then let's head into our store sales. And is there anything adventurous for sale this week?
We have the Adventure and Advance sale. 20% off select adventure packs. Quest XP elixirs now through October the 10th. We have a weekly coupon code that gets you the long-lasting Supreme Ability Potion. 5 of those. Coupon code 5 buff all, the number 5, BUFFALL. Now through October the 10th as well.
Now, I have a question for you.
I have an answer, maybe.
What do you get when a fast food restaurant's PR department writes an RPG?
The From the Dungeon news we had this week?
Yes.
And yes, we are not kidding. Wendy's, yes, that Wendy's, if you're familiar with the Wendy's fast food chain, they have released an RPG. This is not an adventure. This is a full-on RPG with character classes, with rules, with buffs and debuffs. This is a full-on RPG. And it's free.
And I could imagine what the food items are going to be like.
Oh, just wait. I will get to that in a second. Yes, this is called Feast of Legends. The nation of Freshtopia has been, has been the lone beacon of hope in the land of Beef's Keep for decades. However, the Ice Jester and his rogues gallery of frozen fiends threaten Queen Wendy's reign of prosperity. Prepare your heroes for the adventure. So this is loosely based on the D20 system with some 5e stuff thrown in, because I was reading through this and I can see where they kind of took some 5e stuff and kind of threw it on top of the D20 system. But the greatest thing ever about this, you don't have classes in this, you have orders.
Orders. Oh,
yes.
Good grief.
And the orders are as follow. And this is seriously, this is not an early April Fool's joke. This is a serious, honest to goodness PDF RPG you can download right now. We have the Order of the Chicken.
Order of the Chicken.
Which includes Order of the Spicy Chicken Sandwich, Order of the Homestyle Chicken Sandwich, Order of the Grilled Chicken Sandwich, the Asiago Ranch Chicken Club, and the Chicken Nuggets. We have the Order of the Beef, which is the Order of the Baconator, the Junior Bacon Double Cheeseburger, Dave's Double, and the Double Stack. Now I'm hungry. And then we have, of course, order of the sides, the Frosty, the French fries, the Baconator fries, the chili, and the baked potato.
The order of the baked potato.
Yes. And you know how in like 5e and in D20, if you're adjacent to an opponent and you move away from that opponent without actually doing like a disengage action, the opponent on you gets an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, they get a cheap shot in this.
Okay. Well, that fits.
Yes. And there are buffs and debuffs on this. If you find yourself sitting around the table playing this game and you're eating Wendy's, you will get buffs. If you eat any of their cheeseburger items, you will gain +1 to your strength for the entire adventure that you're playing. Any chicken item, +1 to your Arcana stats. Any Frosty, +1 to your Charm. Any French fries, +1 to your Intelligence. Any beverage, +1 to your Grace. And if you're eating Wendy's salad, +1 to your Defense. And say, for example, if you're eating an order that are eating a item that matches your order, so if you're eating a Baconator and your character is of the order of Baconator, you will also gain advantage on your attack rolls. But just as important, though, if you happen to find yourself eating, say, one of those other fast food places items, oh, that's going to be bad because you're going to get a debuff.
You get a debuff for eating a Big Mac.
You will. Very bad. You don't want to eat a Big Mac because that's going to be a +1 ice damage to all attacks for the day.
Oh, good grief.
And so on and so forth. But yeah, this is like, it's if you include the front cover and the back cover, this is like 100 pages. And this is just, it's amazing. This
crazy, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. It sounds crazy, but I realize this is just a giant PR stunt. But they put a lot of time and thought into this. This is actually very, very well done.
Yeah. You know, there's only one way I can imagine this got done is that someone high up in the PR department of Wendy's is an RPG geek.
I'm sure, yes. So, and one of the main villains you fight is the Ice Jester. He's a pretty almost familiar-ish looking clown in a non-copyright infringement type of way. So you're pretty much fighting Ronald McDonald, but you're not. It's, yeah. This is like, but like I said, this is really, really well done. The adventures are really well done. The classes, just everything about this is well done. But it came from Wendy's. Yes, this is Wendy's Feast of Legends. You can download it for free now. I'm hoping maybe to actually run this weekend, believe it or not.
Okay.
I'm getting together.
Are you going to run this at a Wendy's?
Ooh, we should. That would be amazing. Ooh, that's a good idea. I wonder if I'm actually going out of town this weekend with some of my friends. I wonder if there's a Wendy's close.
Yeah, you'd have to look up the location.
I would. So, yes. But, yep, check it out. The Wendy's RPG Feast of Legends. Rise from the Deep Freeze.
Rise from the Deep Freeze.
Links over on DDO Players if you too would like to experience this RPG for yourself.
Crazy.
Indeed.
Then let's head into something a little bit more heavy, where D20 Dungeons & Dragons Heavy Metal dice set is coming from Ultra Pro.
Who can't use more dice? Who can't use more D20s? Yes, there is a set of two D20 Heavy Metal dice coming from Ultra Pro. These are going to release the end of October. As I said, it's going to be a set of two D20s. They are made of premium weighty zinc alloy, and they are an official dice set for D&D. Each die is going to come with a standard randomized number layout, and the D&D ampersand logo is going to be where the 20 is on the die. The MSRP on this is going to be $14.99. So if you want some extra D20s and you want the D&D logo for your 20, here you go from Ultra Pro.
Then let's head into what's on the tabletop. Where Gamma will debut Rick Loomis Service Award at Gamma Trade Show.
Yes, the Game Manufacturers Association, aka Gamma, is going to have this new Rick Loomis Service Award at the Gamma Trade Show, which takes place this March. The award is named, of course, after former Gamma president and president of Flying Buffalo Games, Rick Loomis, who we did talk about just a couple episodes ago that unfortunately did pass away last month from complications of cancer. Gamma said, Loomis made great grand contributions to Gamma and the entire hobby game industry throughout his illustrious career. We do believe his legacy will be honored best by recognizing like-minded and actioned individuals and organizations. The Gamma board is going to consider all the nominees for this award and will choose the recipients on a merit basis. And we will know, they said, probably in January or February, who they are going to bestow the first Rick Loomis Service Award to this March. So that's kind of a cool way to honor Rick Loomis's legacy, because he did do a lot for the gaming industry. And he did a lot for Gamma as a whole, too, as with his 10 years president. So good on Gamma for remembering Mr. Loomis in this way.
All right. Then let's head into something a little also unexpected on the gaming side. And that is that during the Minecon, they announced a Minecraft board game, which is coming this fall.
Yeah, this is called Minecraft Builders and Biomes. I didn't know this was coming.
Well, I don't think anyone did until September 28th.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden I just got like a press release from Ravensburger. It's like, oh yeah, we got a Minecraft game coming out. And I'm like, say what? In Minecraft Builders and Biomes, players are going to explore the overworld. You're going to build structures and mine resources in a quest to score the most points. Points will be earned for building structures and creating the largest connected biomes of a forest, desert, mountain, or snowy tundra spaces on their respective player boards. Minecraft foes like the Endermen and Creepers will, of course, appear throughout the game and will need to be defeated by using weapons that are collected from the board. Game scoring is going to occur as the resource cube's layers are depleted, and once the final layer of the cube runs out, the adventure will come to an end, and the builder with the most points win. This is designed for 2 to 4 players, takes about 30 to 60 minutes to play. You can pre-order it now over on Amazon for $39.99, and it has a November 15th release date, so not too far out.
So you can start playing this right as soon as you finish with the hardcore server?
Sure, there you go. Just jump right into this. The thing that like I thought was amazing about this is you do like in Minecraft, you have to mine stuff. Well, in this, you're mining stuff, but you're pulling from a cube, almost like Jenga style. And the cube, there's a picture if you're watching the YouTube version that's on the screen now. The cube kind of looks like a Rubik's Cube almost, but you pull the cube. It's kind of cool what they're doing here. But this is from Ravensburger, as I said, November 15th for the Minecraft game. When I got this press release, you were the first person I thought of. I was like, oh, it's got pine leaf written all over it.
Well, except that it says 2 to 4 players.
Well, yeah. I'm sure somebody will come up with a solo variant for it. Not sure how, but I'm sure somebody will.
Oh, yes, we good.
It's amazing some of the games people come up with solo variants for, so.
Well,
We shall
that
see.
is true. I just hope that if you fail to kill the creeper quickly, it doesn't blow up your entire set.
Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is like interesting though. This is kind of an interesting crossover. And I think this might be it looks like this is like light enough to where it might be a good gateway game for some people because I bet Minecraft people are probably going to buy this and play this because it's Minecraft. So it might be a good gateway into the tabletop board gaming hobby as a whole for some people. Could be. It depends how light it is, but I'm kind of assuming this is going to be a pretty light game. It looks, just from the pictures that I've seen and the press release, it doesn't look like it's going to be too strategic or anything, which I say that in the nicest of ways. I don't mean that as a dig on the game at all. I'm just saying it's not the most complex of games, it doesn't look like. So maybe a good gateway game.
I guess we'll find out. But if I remember correctly, that uh, from the card game that was released a couple of years ago, I think all I've heard from that is cricket. So
Yeah. This, Ravensburger is on kind of a roll right now because they did the Horrified board game. They did the Jaws board game. So they're kind of on a good roll right now. So we'll see. And I'm kind of thinking we'll probably get a review copy of this, maybe. Ravensburger does usually send all of their stuff to us. So we'll see on that.
we'll find out.
Stay tuned on that. But yeah, November 15th, as I said, pre-orders are live now on Amazon. And I'm also, they didn't necessarily state this, but I would assume you could also go to your friendly local game store and pre-order this as well. But I know for sure they are on Amazon if you so are inclined to do that. And with Prime, you'll get it pretty quick, maybe even next day after the release.
Then let's go and find out what's on the screen. Where the first trailer of Birds of Prey has been released.
So I have been waiting for this. Ever since they announced this, I've been waiting for a trailer, and this trailer did not disappoint. This, of course, is for... I'm glad they're just calling it Birds of Prey, because the actual full title of the movie is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Birds of Prey for short. That is a bit long of a title, Warner Brothers. So I'm glad you just kind of cut it down to Birds of Prey. But yeah, this is the new movie starring Margaret Robbie as everybody's chaotic anti-hero favorite, Harley Quinn.
So Harley Quinn shows you how much I've been following Harley Quinn. I guess I always assumed that she was in the villain category rather than the anti-hero category.
It's kind of weird. Harley Quinn has taken this weird thing. She is a villain, but yet she's so popular. And in Suicide Squad, they kind of turned her to villain / anti-hero. And now in the comics, she's kind of shifting towards more the anti-hero. Okay. And now with the Birds of Prey, they're setting up an origin story for her. And it's great.
It's sort of like what they occasionally do to Catwoman in some versions.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like Harley Quinn became so popular, she kind of outgrew the villain. And DC smartly recognized that, and they're kind of trying this out, and so far people are loving it. The summary of Birds of Prey is about how Harley Quinn joins up with 3 other heroines, the Huntress, the Black Canary, and Renee Montoya, to save a future superhero known as Cassandra Cain. But taking on a crime lord supervillain known as the Black Mask is going to get in the way of their rescue of this future superhero. The movie does star Margaret Robbie, of course, as Harley Quinn. She did that role in Suicide Squad too. If you've seen that, Huntress is going to be played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Black Canary by Junrei Smollett Bell, and Renee Montoya is played by Rosie Perez. And our future superhero, Cassandra Cain, is played by Ellie J. Bosco. Check out this trailer. It looks amazing. We got to wait till February 7, 2020 for the movie, though.
That's a while.
That is a while. I mean, I guess if you think about it, it's not...
Actually not.
It's
only February.
Only February, so it's not that far away. Because it's, October now, so 4 months from today, basically?
Yeah, 4 months.
Yeah, so it's only 4 months, but still it's a lot. But this trailer is pretty well done. And my favorite part of the trailer, it's not really a spoiler. It's in the trailer, so I guess it's not really a spoiler. But the end of the trailer is just amazing. Because I'm Harley freaking Quinn, that's why. It's great. I love Harley Quinn so much, always have. So I'm excited for this movie. But yeah, check out the trailer over on DDOplayers.com. February 7th, 2020. Movie is out everywhere.
Now, I noticed that at the site, some things that aren't in our little list there. You're talking about Ghostbusters coming out on the 10th for one day. Well, I know it's 2 days but the one's already passed.
Yes. Well, yeah, I guess I didn't include that in the show notes because it was already passed, but I did forget that they are doing it the 10th too. So yes, if you hurry, it depends when you listen to this. If you listen to this the day that the show releases, you might still be able to get tickets for it. But yeah, you can go see the original Ghostbusters movie back in the theaters. It happened this past Sunday, and it is doing the 10th. This is in celebration of the film's 35th anniversary, so check it out. The original Ghostbusters, also going to include some footage nobody has seen yet, and it's going to have a special opening by Dan Aykroyd, who of course plays in the movie itself. I love Ghostbusters. I went and seen it in the theaters again couple years ago. It was maybe for the 30th anniversary, maybe they brought it back in theaters for a day, and I went and saw it then. I didn't get a chance to do it this time though. I wanted to because Ghostbusters is one of my favorite movies of all time, so it's awesome. But yeah, so October 10th, this is a Fathom event, so you can go over to the Fathom events website. There's a link over on DDO Players if you want to try to grab tickets for the October 10th showing. So you have one more day left to check out Ghostbusters in theaters.
Then let's head into our week in gaming. And Drac, what were you up to?
Hardcore League was about it. I had another one of the weeks from hell that I often have, pretty much regularly at this point now. So I should be used to them, but yeah. So pretty much hardcore was all I did. We did reach level 10 at 500 favor, so 1,700 more favor to go.
1,700 more to go. Oh boy, and 10 more levels.
Got a month yet, so
got a month.
Still doable, but
it doesn't sound like it's going to be easy.
I'm enjoying hardcore. It's fun. Myth and I are having a blast playing through this, but it's becoming like a job, unfortunately, if that kind of makes sense when I say that. It's getting a little frustrating at this point because I'm seeing all these other people hitting 1750 and hitting level 20, and I'm seeing everybody running around in their stuff and seeing their eyes, and I'm like,
I think that I made the right decision stopping at 5.
Yeah, I think you set a good goal for yourself, sir. So we'll see. So 1,700 more to go. The end is in sight. Got a month. We'll see. I think it's still doable. I'm still running everything on hard. It's still just the way that we chose to play. Other people are doing it differently. That's how Myth and I decided we were going to do it. That's how I'm most comfortable doing it. So that's how we're doing it. And like I said, we are still having fun with it. I'm having a blast run through all these quest with Mithri because she is just like a blast to play with. She is so much fun to play with. But it's just, oh my God, this is like becoming just like a chore to do this. There's like some nights where I'm just like, oh, I'm dreading playing for 2 hours to play. It's like, ugh. So, but alas, that is what I must put up with to do that. But like I said, the end's in sight. So we'll see. At this point, I have made the decision. If I do die, though, I'm done. I'm not even going to attempt to try anymore because there's.
Well, seeing that you've
Well,
got
yeah,
only a month left.
yeah. There's not going to be enough time. So I mean, knock on wood that I do not die. But in case that happens, it was fun. I made a valiant effort, but I'm out. I'm done. So we'll see. And that would only be, I shouldn't talk about this because now I'm going to jinx myself and die.
Yeah.
But this will be my I've only died twice, so that would be the third death. So a lot better than I thought I was going to do. I was envisioning myself dying a lot, so I kind of surprised myself that I didn't die as much as I thought I was going to. So there's one thing, I guess. So we'll see. But yeah, my goal is 1750, and in getting 1750, the ergo will probably hit 20 as well, because those two kind of go hand in hand. So the ultimate goal is really not level 20 for me. It is actually just 1750 for the eyes. But if 20 happens to, awesome. So we'll see. Still got a month, but oh my God, it's becoming a slog. But we'll see. Yeah. Just trugging right along. So how about you? Looks like you did a crap ton of stuff again.
In Dungeons & Dragons Online, my Dragonborn ran Members Only, which is the 4th quest in the new Sharn series. Then in Minecraft, I ran the first week on the Mage Rage, and this week's Mage Rage, I go into there, I toss the crystal ball to see what items I need to collect. I'm looking at, wait a minute, everything on the list requires a trip to the Nether. I have never seen so many things ever requested. It's hard for me to think that there were actually 9 items that you are going to require the Nether, but it managed to do it. And 2 of those items required me to go to a fortress, which is...
So you have talked about those in the past, so...
What, a fortress?
Yes.
Oh, are you familiar with what a fortress is?
Just from what you have said about them, because you have talked about them in the past, so...
Yeah, I've talked about those in the... Just imagine, all right, now, you have an idea what the Nether is.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Right, okay, so you're in the middle of one of the planes of hell, effectively. And imagine then this great fortress in the middle of hell, made of dark red brick, and within there you have demons of fire that come out and skeletons that make you wither to death.
Okay, you're making this sound like a great place that I want to be.
Right.
This sounds right down my alley so far.
Yes. So in order, what I needed to collect for one was I needed to collect a blaze rod from one of those fire demons that you have to kill in there.
Okay.
Known as these blazes, as they're really called. So I have to kill one of these blazes and get a rod from them. And on top of this, I also had to find within there a little netherwart farm, and these netherwart farms are always the toughest parts to solve. In all of my time in playing Minecraft, I found a total of 2 of these things. One was for this particular run, and the other one is from another series I did where I did a lot of trouble looking for those things. I know that in most worlds in multiplayer worlds, what I've always done is whenever I needed netherwart, I bought it from somebody else.
Nice. But you can't do that in this, I take it.
Right. Well, yeah, when you're playing single player, you can't do that. So that was sort of the tricky thing that I had in. So I went around looking so I got those items and everything else in there. Oh boy. And having to go way down to the bottom, up on top. That was one of the more challenging ones I've run into, where everything you wanted was right in the Nether. And there were 2 ingredients, because 2 of the items required ingredients both from the overworld and from the Nether. So the 2 that required those other ingredients, I had to get those ingredients from a dungeon I found. Now, I was trying to dig it out of the ground, go deep enough to dig them, but I have to run right into a dungeon. I said, okay, I'll take it from the dungeon. Kill the monsters in there and grab the loot. And I was surprised though to actually found that stuff in there. Because usually when I go to a dungeon, I do not find redstone and I do not find gunpowder in those places. And finding both in the same dungeon was amazing. Then in my main world, I was finished up my water temple that I was making, and because of the things that are coming up in Lotro and DDO, it's probably into my 114 world of what I was doing because I built my village that I sought to fortify all through there. I survived a raid using that. I built this temple, and I don't think there's anything else that I really need to do for this particular world. And I think I'm just going to wait till 115 comes out so I could do the one because that's the bee update, and they're calling it the bees and bugs update. In other words, they're adding bees and they're trying to get rid of as many software bugs from it as possible. And I thought that, you know how you have the against the cult of the reptile god, is one of the famous low level dungeons?
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, yeah.
Yes. So I was thinking of doing one on, how I turned the Temple of Elemental Evil into the Temple of Elemental Pine.
Mm-hmm.
Then I thought I'll turn the cult of the reptile god into the temple of the into the cult of the arthropod.
Okay.
Yeah. So therefore, I'm going to have a highlighting bees and spiders and stuff like that in order to carry this out. But that's my idea so far. We'll see how far that goes. But that's going to be when 115 comes out. So it'll be a little hiatus from my single player world. And that's because, of course, there's an update coming soon in Lotro that I'll be spending a lot of time in. And I attempted the in an ocean world. I decided to make 2 attempts at this, and in both attempts, I ran into drowned zombies that threw tridents at me. And it doesn't mean they wanted me to catch the tridents. They just impaled me with them. So I died quickly on that. I said, okay, that's it. I'm done. Then on the tabletop, I played another expedition of Eon's End, and then I played a new game that I recently got, Cartographers, a role-player tale. This is in the same world as Role Player. This is a roll and write game, and the object of this is to map out an area. What you're doing is actually it's not really a roll and write, it's a draw and write, meaning you draw a card, and that card is an indication of what you're to write on the map, and you're trying to fit it into certain areas, and you're trying to follow certain guidelines as to what you need in order to get what you get points for and all this stuff. So I was trying on that one. What's interesting is that I did 2 runs on the easier map, and I did 1 run on the harder map, and I did better on the harder map. What?
Yeah, that
Oh,
kind of
well.
weird.
Yeah, no, I certainly was kind of weird in that particular one. Then I played Castle Panic, where first I played a run of the base game. So essentially a learning game on it. And I know I was expecting that to be a little bit tougher than it was, because I think I won that one fairly easily. I think I might have at the end of the game maybe had 1 or 2 walls down, and that was it.
Castle Panic's kind of like that, though. There's like some games where it's really super simple, and other games it just goes horribly wrong, horribly fast.
Yes. Then I decided what would happen if I brought in the Wizard's Tower expansion.
Okay.
Now, in this is what you're talking about, things going horribly wrong, horribly fast.
Yep. That's Castle Panic.
Yes. At the end of the 4th turn, I believe, 4th or 5th turn, I believe that I think I had 4 walls and at least 1 tower down already. So they were really pounding at me and really going. But I somehow managed to survive this onslaught. So in the middle game, I'm looking at this, all right, I got 2 walls and the Wizard's Tower and 2 other towers left. And I'm wondering, all right, when am I going to finally have them come out and completely kill me? And to my utter surprise, at the end of the game, I had 2 walls and a burning tower left.
Wow.
It's like I'm looking at this, I could just imagine my tower burning and the
Oh,
walls
dear.
crumbling and all this stuff, and we had all these dead monsters all over the place. I was really shocked that I won that one because that opening was brutal.
Is this the first time you played Castle Panic?
Yeah, because I just got it
Okay.
last week.
Okay, I didn't. I just assumed you had had it for a while and just hadn't played it or
Oh
hadn't
no,
played it for a while. Oh, okay.
no, because I bought it right because remember when we announced, I think it was about a month or two ago that they were coming out with the big box.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So so I got the big box
Oh,
with
you got
it.
the big box. Okay, yeah. And we talked to them, GenCon, at friends over at Fireside Games is the one that makes that.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. So are you going to play with the rest of the expansions and everything? Then I'm assuming you're gonna like add everything else in.
I think I need a week or two break.
Yeah, but like I said though, that's the thing about Castle Panic. It's like it's going so well until it isn't going so well, and then it's like all of a sudden you're just like, crap, this has went south horribly quick.
Yes. Now I've seen a couple of playthroughs. Actually, the playthroughs I remember were a couple of them from Star Trek Panic, which is very similar. And because when I was first playing Castle Panic, I said, well, yeah, because I remember in the Star Trek Panic where there were these things going on fire and stuff. It turned out that they added that in the Wizard's Tower one is where the whole thing
Okay,
burning,
yeah.
like that. So I was saying, so obviously when they made Star Trek Panic, at least one of the expansions was already made. So we'll see how that goes. And in tabletop apps, I played some Eons in there, and I ran my first games with more than 2 mages. So I ran a game with 3 mages, and that went reasonably well. Then I ran one with 4 mages and was kicked in the teeth. Eons End can turn that way sometimes, where sometimes it looks really calm, and sometimes it's Castle Panic.
It's not so calm.
And I completed a couple of what I'm calling rare achievements. What I'm calling rare achievements are ones in which less than 1% of the people in the net have achieved completing that particular one. Damage where you had to prevent in one turn 20 points of damage, and I got that one. Now there is this really, really, really bad card called, what's that card called? Pulverizing Ray.
That
Essentially,
sounds
it says
nasty.
Greyfoe takes 18 points of damage, but you could throw away gems in order to prevent them three each. And I happened to be on the character that could easily prevent damage. I said, okay, look, Pulverizing Ray is coming up. I turned that on, and that's 18 points right there in preventing. And then to make sure that something else came in that also did some damage, and everything was fine there. Then and there was another one to charge ability from empty to full and use that power all in the same turn, and I managed to do that also during those games. Actually, I might have done that in a 2-player game after that one, because as I said, I got squashed in the 4-player one, but those are a couple things I did then in a 2-player game afterwards, which went a lot better than that 4-player game.
Naturally.
And that's it for my week in gaming. We currently have 16 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you will find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to ddoplayers.com, podcast at ddoplayers.com, and you can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Dracula at Dracula_72, and Polyfed Polyneedles, or you can follow Drake at Twitch at Dracula_72, where we hope to be able to continue our Sharn Heaven and Hell series. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time via DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time via Lotra Players News. And you can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight, and this is Polyneedles reminding you to quest responsibly.